All right, J-Bro's popping back in here. What I wanted to touch base on this video is I had my red light come on here. And I was all in panic because I'm like, okay, well, red light, that's not good because that's low oil. I had literally just checked the oil a couple days prior when I was doing a different video. But I went and checked my dipstick, checked the oil level again. It's like maybe there was a leak. Well, it's like, how could there be a leak when my machine is so clean? Long story short, my dipstick was not seated in there. It was not put all the way in. So what I ended up doing is getting the dipstick obviously seated, rechecking my oil. Obviously my oil was good, and then got the dipstick seated in. So I did some recon on that. Well, a loose dipstick can cause, let's say, I don't know if we want to say pressure in the engine. So we're talking oil pressure light. So that might have made that happen. Well, what I did also at that same point, I hadn't changed this fuel filter since new. So this fuel filter has got about 200 hours on it. Well, this is the new one, and I've already got it installed. So old, new. Well, this is crap plastic, whatever. My dad wanted me to test on the old filter far as how the valve in here works. And I blew on this side because obviously this is the arrow that the filter is supposed to go. I blew on here. That felt like there was pretty good flow through here. And then I just blew on here to blow that way. Not as good as flow because I think there's like a stop valve kind of in this filter. So anyway, this is the new filter. This is the old filter. And I'll just walk you through how to swap out this filter. But before I deep dive into swapping out the filter, in case you're interested on the red light, the basic problem was, so I got the dipstick reseated back in there, and the red light didn't come off. And obviously I had the fuel filter changed out. It took a while of running the machine because obviously after I put the dipstick back in, let that reset, and then swapped out the fuel filter, I think it took a little bit of time for the machine to sit and the sensor to allow me to start the machine back up again. Once I got the machine started back up again, the red light came back on in about 5 or so minutes of operating. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what is totally going on here? So I pulled it back in the shop, rechecked any loose wires around my batteries, stuff like that. And then I'm like, okay, well, I just let it sit for another couple hours. Went back to the machine, repowered up the master, all that stuff, turned it on, and there was just a faint flickering of the red light after 5 or 10 minutes of running. And then the red light just stayed off. So what I'm assuming happened by the dipstick being not seated in there, that messed with the oil pressure because obviously I had oil, and it just took time for the engine and the sensor to recalibrate itself to having the dipstick back in. And then, of course, I'm sure it helps just an overall general running purposes of swapping out the fuel filter. So that's something to look out for, to just make sure your dipstick's seated. Obviously, make sure you have oil, and you'll avoid that issue. So if that kind of comes up for you with the red light, your dipstick wasn't seated, or low oil, it could be that, just that simple. Yeah, I thought this would be kind of a fun video for you guys. So obviously this is the new filter. This is the old filter. What I did is I cut it in half. And what I realized on here, because I thought maybe this filter would act as a float, but actually this filter is actually secured to this here. With that being said, the tough part about identifying, hey, this filter should be replaced. See how brown black that is? We don't want that because we want our fuel to be just crystal clean. So I'd recommend, because like I said, this is 200 hours. of runtime, I'd recommend swapping this out at least at 100 hours. There's no reason to let it get this dirty, and the cost of these filters is so trivial. It just makes all the sense in the world to replace it. And the one thing is, you already know, you can't really see through here, which makes it difficult, but where this newer one is way cleaner, and it'll just identify, or be way easier to identify for you to say, hey, replace this filter, but don't let it get this dirty. There's no reason. These filters are so cheap. But I thought it was kind of cool just to verify that this is not a float or anything in there. It's secured to the top, and then obviously 200 hours of runtime. This just absolutely needs to be replaced and whatnot. But I thought that'd be kind of a cool thing for you guys if you haven't seen one cut open before. Yeah, just to give you a visual. All right, I'm going to just quickly tear into this here so you know how easy it is to swap out the fuel filter. Honestly, I don't know if I'd wait 200 hours to swap out the fuel filter because they are so cheap, but I'm just letting you know this original one went 200 hours. At least with this one here, you can actually visibly see this fuel filter here. But as simple as it is to get to it, it's not that difficult. You take off these two front holding screws, set those down there, pop that off. All this top is held by this here, which is where your air filter is going to be at. And it always pays to check your air filter, because if you're in dusty, dirty conditions down south, and especially up here too where it was dry, your air filter just gets dirty. And it's just good practice just to open this stuff up, clean it out. Because even here, this one could probably get blown out again. I don't know why this thing's being stubborn to come out. This doesn't screw in here, it just slides in here. There we go. So right there you see that's dirty, that could just get blown off, but the underside's actually pretty good. And I'll just get you up close. Like I said, this is not difficult at all. But what we're dealing with to get to the fuel filter here, so mine's held on by this crimp ring here. You take this screw off here, you take this screw off here, you take this screw off here, and you take this screw off here. This housing then comes up. Under this metal thing here is kind of like a chrome. We don't need this foam. See, that's another reason why you look in there. There's like a chrome little filter in there. See those holes in that? That screen, when I pulled this off, was actually kind of covered in kind of dirt gunk. So it definitely kind of needed to be cleaned, but all this other stuff here was pretty clean. So anyway, all this fuel filter is connected by is this crimp. You just use the pliers on that to flex that, slide the hose on. Same thing over here. You don't really need to worry about draining all your gas or anything like that. It's just a little bit of stuff right here. Like I said, that was here. This is here. And that's as simple as it is for replacing your fuel filter. I think that's really all there is to it on that front about a possibility of why your red light might come on is oil pressure. And it would make sense if your dipstick is not seated properly. So like I said, kind of a quick one for me. Don't neglect your changing out your fuel filter. You can buy these on miniskidupgrades.com. You can get usually a fuel filter and the air filter kind of in the same kit. And usually they send it in like a 2-pack. Let's say it's 10 to 20 bucks, but I can put that in the description down below. But don't neglect keeping your air filter clean and checking this stuff out. Don't neglect your fuel filter. The next maintenance thing I have to do, because I was going to do the fuel filter at 200 hours, and I was going to do my oil change, down here at 200 hours. So next thing I need to do on here is the oil change, and I'll do that in a separate video, even though you guys have seen me do it multiple times. But if you have any other questions on that subject of what possibly could make your red light go on and the red light I think kind of coincides with shutting the engine down, because with that oil pressure kicking on, it was turning my machine off. And that's why I was thinking possibly it was a fuel filter issue along with low oil. But like I said, once again, it was my dipstick, I think. But anyway, enough of that. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, and yeah, J Bros out.